All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to my class. Welcome back to the class with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Today is a special day. Today is a real special day for me. Today I made 53 years old. 53 years ago, my mother gave birth to a gift, a prize even bigger than I knew as I grew in life and began to develop and take my journey on where I would go and who I would become and who I would be. And here we are right now with yours truly, the counselor. It's a good day. It's a very good day. Today I thought I would, even though I have some plans, I don't know, Ruth Chris, a bunch of other things, to be treated to a birthday celebration and things like that, and loved ones and people gathering. It's going to be nice. All right, but I thought I would do a little work, since I, got suited and booted for the event, to come on and give you guys something, in the little brief time that I have. This paper is called The Domestic Excuse. One would ask, what is the domestic excuse? And when did man and woman begin this journey on making excuses? One thing came to mind was something in the book of Genesis in the Bible, and one of the first book of the Bible, and the Genesis thing about Adam, and how Adam in the Bible was told by God, instructed by God. It was a one-on-one dialogue, conversation, thing with God and Adam. Adam being the first man, and Adam was told by God that he can eat everything he wanted from the garden. It would be very nutritious for him in the garden. And then, as the story goes on, there was Eve, who was created from Adam. There was a real place. We're talking about your righteous peace and your righteous somebody, and we have no flaws or anything that I have to say about Eve. But, I imagine how beautiful she was and how soft she was and how great of a touch it would be to be able to have your Eve in your life being an Adam. But so the story went on to say that Eve, supposedly told Adam, come on and eat some of this. Come on and try some of this, and you can be just as great as the all-powerful, the almighty God. And so he ventured off and said, okay, baby, I'll do that. And so once he did it, and once he made that move and she had made that move, there was a violation to God, because he had been told, had been told not to eat of the tree, right? Reminds me of someone telling me at a time, don't go over there and try any of that heroin. Don't go and try any of that other stuff, that crack, that powder, that syrup, that E-pill, that ecstasy, that all these different things, warning before destruction. And many of us say, you know what, just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it's going to destroy me, right? So we take on that, we go try it for ourselves, and most of us have been warned before we go into that place and try that substance, right? So Adam went and tried it. God came back and was like, hey, homeboy, son, Adam, where are you? He said, I'm over here. He said, where are you at? I'm over here hiding, me and baby, And he said, why are you hiding? And he said, well, I ain't got no clothes on. We naked. We kind of funning it up right now. And, we didn't know you was coming right now. So what happened is, he said, God said, did you eat of that what I told you not to eat of? He said, yeah. He said, but why did you violate me like that? Adam, didn't I, So Adam comes with what the topic is about. The topic is domestic excuses. Adam comes and says that it was that breezy, that broad, that female, that woman, that sex piece that told me to do it, right? Told me to do it, right? And yet, he did not take responsibility. So what happened is he began to make excuses. And many of us are Adams also. We are also Adams. We are atoms, right? A host of atoms. Atom is the blood cell. Adam is the man. Adam is also the woman. She's, part of the atom and the cycle of atoms, right? And so we begin to tell lies and make excuses when we're called upon ourselves. Secrets die in the light of exposure, right? Secrets die in the light of exposure. So we're going to move on. All right, it says, domestic excuses. What is and how does one define domestic excuses? A domestic excuse is an attempt to lessen the blame, attaching to a fault or offense, or seeking to defend or justify something by coming up with some reason or explanation for why something was done or why something happened. Ask yourself questions, right? Many of us are going to come up with some reason, right? We have relationships, right? We have relationships with our partners. We have times when we have been deceitful to our partners. Sometimes we have committed adultery. We have violated our our position in that relationship, and we have come up with all kind of reasons. Oh, she made me do it. Oh, she made me sleep with her cousin. And if you had paid me more attention, I would not have done what I've done. We have been in situations like many people that I've known. I don't think I've ever made this particular excuse. I have sold drugs and got caught. But there have been other people that have sold drugs and also have gotten caught. And they have said things that, the reason why I'm in jail is because that police was bothering me. The police that was doing his own job and doing the job he gets paid for, which is arresting people for breaking the law. But we have blamed the judge. We have blamed the poor lawyer that we had. But if we had not committed the crime or took a chance on breaking the law, you wouldn't have to be worried about being in somebody's jail for that particular offense, right? But yet we continue to make excuses. We make excuses like, if I had the right teacher when I was going to school, I would have graduated high school. If I had the right mother, I would have not hated women so much. If I had a right father, I would know how to change a tire on a car. If I had this, or if I had that. If I had the right woman, right, I would be a better father to my children. So we continue to go on with the domestic excuse. We continue to say things to have excuses. We say, hey, why don't you go to a church? Whatever, right? I remember being, again, in my disease of addiction. We'll call it the disease of addiction. And I would say things like, people would say, you need help. I said, no, I don't need no help. The people at those programs need my help. I don't need their help because I'm smart, right? But I was so smart that I became a drug addict. I became someone who lived in the street. I would lived in the street before most people today during this corona lived in the street. I had been homeless for over 14 years, right? And it wasn't my fault. It was the people I was hanging out with. It was the friends that wasn't real friends. They were the reason why I was homeless. And they were the reason why I chose not to keep the upkeep on myself and my look good on, right? They were the reason. So I would make excuse after excuse. If it wasn't for this, this wouldn't happen. I can't even blame my own father, which also was addicted to the same drugs I was, the heroin, the cocaine, and I was like, it's his fault. But the truth of the matter is that my father never used drugs in front of me. My father never took me to the drug house and say, son, try some of this. We had been separated in our own places for many, many years, most of my life. And so I cannot blame him for me picking the stuff up. So we make domestic excuses. We make excuses on why our lives haven't evolved in the places we've been. We make excuses instead of acknowledging we make choices. We make choices on the group of people we hang around. We make choices on the places we choose to hang and be around. We make choices. We just don't wake up in the morning and pop up on the scene. We go to the scene by choice, not by force. And so we have to realize the powers we have in ourselves. It takes me back to being young, and I remember it was a good thing because my mother, let her rest in peace, she died in 2008. But her memories and our memories together continue to come on. So those of you who have lost a parent, there's going to be a process before you get to a different process. There's going to be a process of being able to laugh again, being able to remember mama, remember daddy, and be able to have some laughs and be grateful for the time that you had with your parent, right? Or both parents, like myself. Both of my parents are gone. But mama, my friend, I remember we stayed at 940 Fillmore Street, apartment E in San Francisco, California. And there was a friend of mine by the name of Amy, and Amy threw a ball at this man's window. He was hitting the ball against the wall, and then one of the times he threw the ball, it broke the man's window. Now the man had looked out the window when the ball hit the window, and he saw who broke his window. He saw my friend Amy run off, but the next day the man grabbed me, and he shook me, and he grabbed me, and I was just a little tot at the time. And I was like, "Get your MF hands off me," is what I told him. And when I told him that, my mom, mothers are something else. Let me tell you this real quick. Mothers have the ability, if their child is in a group of other children, it could be 30 or 40 children. When the child screams, a mother, the umbilical cord is no longer present in the vision of most of us. The umbilical cord that we can't see, the mother can still hear her child. She can hear her child even with the 30 other children playing in the park. She can hear her child scream. So mama heard my voice. And when mama heard my voice, she came outside very quickly. "What's going on?" It was what she said. I said, Mama. She said, "What's going on?" And the man standing there, real shocked that my parents showed up so quick. He wanted to take care of me with nobody watching, right? But secrets die in the light of exposure. So my mother asked me, she said, "You tell me what the truth, you tell me the truth, and this, and that, and if you tell me the truth, son, you won't get no whooping." I said, "For real, mama? Is that true? You not gonna whoop me?" Because my dad whooped us for anything. Even when we were innocent, we got whoopings, right? We got whoopings when the other sibling, other brother or sister did something. We got whoopings when they almost did something but didn't do something. We got a whooping for that. We got a whooping when it was this person's turn to get a whooping. Everybody had to stand up and get in line. We got the instructions on who's going first. And it's like crazy. Like, who wants to go first? And who wants to go second or last? Nobody. But it's a crazy thing. Then you get the whoopings and people tell you, "You bet not scream. Shut up." Now, how you go shut up when you get the whooping? And if you shut up, they're going to beat you harder until you start screaming. Then they still going to tell you to shut up. I don't understand that. But anyway, that was how it was for us when we was growing up. So mama said, "If you tell the truth, you won't get no whooping." And I said, "For real, mama? You serious?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, mama, my friend Amy broke his window yesterday. And today he's still angry because his window got broke. But he clearly saw that I did not break his window. And so he decided to grab me, mama, and start shaking my arm. And I pulled away from him. And I cussed him out, mama. And I said, this, and this. My mother was so shocked that I could even curse, that I knew the curse words that I knew. And I put it out, and my mama then said, "Go play." I said, "Okay, mama," and I went on and played. And I never got a whooping, right? And Mama had gave me something, right, that I hope all of you can get from this viewing of this video, is to tell the truth and stop making excuses, right? Mama told me, and we built a great relationship through the many years and through her passing, of telling the truth. Because I know how much easier it is, because I've been doing it for so long, how easy it is just to tell the truth and nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud, because if you tell the lie, if you make the excuse, you continue to make more excuses. Matter of fact, your life will be an excuse. Your new name is excuse. You don't have a name like James or the counselor. You got a name like excuse. That's your name, right? So you don't want to go down in history and your funeral on the obituary has the title of excuse. His whole life was an excuse. The pastor that does the funeral for you will say, well, his whole life was about an excuse. So if you want a life that's worth living, stop making excuses. Step your game up. You know, be all you can be. You know what I'm saying? Even the word in the Bible talks about being fruitful and prosperous, right? Meaning that you don't have to have less. You can have more. And if you have more and you're honest and you're real with yourself and you're treating others as you want to be treated, you'll even have some extras to give out to others, right? You'll be able to just pass it on and won't even miss it. Because as you give out, you'll get back. You'll have a room that it won't even be room enough to fill up all what you will receive back. So I'm going to end it right there. And thank you all for coming on in and seeing me for my birthday and everything. And thank you for all your birthday wishes on Facebook. Please watch YouTube, my channel, Domestic Violence with the Counselor, Mr. James Horton. Domestic Violence with the Counselor, Mr. James Horton. Watch all the videos so I can get all the credits. Watch it from the front to the back. And watch some other ones and send some to your friends. Thank you for attending my group. With yours truly, the Counselor, Mr. James Horton.